You have 847 friends on social media. Your phone buzzes every few minutes. Your calendar is full. Your life looks busy. And you've never felt more alone in your entire life. But here's what's really disturbing. Loneliness isn't a problem. Loneliness is boring, predictable. We all know what it feels like. The real problem? The thing that's actually killing you? You've become so numb to being alone, you don't even notice it anymore. You've adapted, adjusted, built a life around the absence of connection. You've made loneliness so normal, so routine, so boring, that you've forgotten what it feels like to not be lonely. And that's when loneliness becomes lethal. Because the loneliest people aren't the ones crying about it. They're the ones who've stopped feeling it entirely. Let's talk about what nobody talks about. Not the dramatic loneliness. Not the movie version where someone sobs into their pillow. Let's talk about the boring kind, the kind that doesn't even register anymore. Wake up, no one to say good morning to. Shower, no one notices you're gone. Coffee, scrolling, work emails, lunch alone, more scrolling, dinner from a container, Netflix, sleep, repeat. It's not sad anymore. It's just Tuesday. And here's the insidious part. Your brain has stopped registering this as pain, because pain that's constant isn't pain anymore. It's baseline, it's normal. It's just how life feels. When you touch something hot, your hand jerks back. That's acute pain, your nervous system screaming danger. But chronic pain? Your nervous system adapts. It turns down the volume. It has to, or you'd go insane. Loneliness works the same way. The first few months of isolation hurt. You notice the empty chair, the phone that didn't ring, the weekends with no plans. You felt it. But month 6, month 12, year 3, you don't feel it anymore. You've adapted to the ache. Your emotional pain receptors have gone numb. Now you can sit in a room full of people and feel absolutely nothing. You can have a conversation and not be present. You can be physically surrounded and emotionally empty. You've mastered the art of being alone while never being by yourself. And the scariest part, you don't even know it's happening, because loneliness doesn't announce itself when it's chronic. It doesn't send notifications. It just becomes you. You look in the mirror and think you're fine, you have friends, you go out, you're functional. But functional isn't the same as alive. Your heart is beating, your lungs are breathing. But the part of you that connects, that feels, that reaches out, that part died so quietly you didn't even notice. This is what makes loneliness boring. It's not dramatic. It's not a crisis. It's just a slow fade into numbness. A gradual dimming of the light until you're living in grayscale and you can't remember what color looked like. You're not sad about being alone. You're nothing about being alone. And nothing is so much worse than sad. Here's what's actually happening inside your brain while you're scrolling through your phone at 2 a.m, surrounded by digital connection, but drowning in isolation. When you experience loneliness, your brain activates the same regions as physical pain. Your brain cannot tell the difference between a broken bone and a broken connection. But chronic loneliness doesn't just hurt, it changes your brain. Prolonged isolation shrinks the areas responsible for emotional regulation, memory, and decision-making. Your brain physically changes shape because you're alone. You're not imagining that you think differently now. You're not being dramatic when you say you don't feel like yourself. You literally have a different brain. Loneliness also floods your system with stress hormones. Your immune system weakens. Inflammation increases. Loneliness increases your risk of early death. It's worse for your health than obesity. It increases dementia risk. Loneliness is killing you, slowly, quietly, boringly. For most of human history, being alone meant death. No protection, no shared food, no warning of danger. So your nervous system evolved to treat isolation as a threat. That's why lonely people are hypervigilant. Why you overanalyze interactions. Why you assume people don't like you. Your brain is stuck scanning for danger, so you withdraw, you misread signals, you push people away before they can reject you. Your loneliness is trying to protect you from more loneliness. And in doing so, it guarantees you stay alone. It's a biological trap. This is why telling someone to just put themselves out there doesn't work. Your nervous system believes people are dangerous. Now here's the cruelest part. You're more connected than ever, and more alone than ever. You're performing connection while experiencing isolation. Conversations that say nothing. Messages that mean nothing. Connections with no depth. You've replaced intimacy with interaction. You can get 1,000 likes and still feel unseen. You can be surrounded and still feel alone. Because you're not lonely for people. You're lonely for being known, and being known is terrifying. So you stay surface level. You show the highlight reel. You wear the mask. But the more you hide, the lonelier you become. You've built a life where you can't be rejected, because you can never truly be chosen either. You're at the party, in the group chat, surrounded, but you're not there, because the real you learned that showing up authentically gets you hurt. And that version of you is dying of loneliness. You can't be loved for performance. So you go home after being social and feel more isolated than before. That's the boring loneliness, not the absence of people. The presence of people who don't actually know you. We're living through an epidemic no one talks about. Most adults feel lonely regularly. Many have no close friends. People stop trying. They accept isolation as permanent. This is learned loneliness. You've forgotten how to connect. So when connection appears, you don't know what to do with it. You're out of practice at being human. But here's the truth. You're not the only one. Everyone is lonely. Everyone is performing. Everyone is waiting for someone else to go first. But what if you did? What if you told the truth? I'm lonely, I'm struggling, I need connection. It's terrifying, but it's also the only thing that breaks the cycle. Because the moment you admit it, you give others permission to admit it too, and suddenly you're not performing. You're just human. There's no cure for loneliness. But there is an antidote. Presence. Real, messy, undefended presence. Showing up exactly as you are. It won't fix everything overnight, but it will remind your nervous system of something it forgot. Isolation is the threat. Connection is the medicine. The boring psychology of loneliness is this. It slowly erodes connection until you forget what being seen feels like. And the antidote is just as boring. One conversation, one moment of honesty, one risk of being real. You don't have to stop being lonely to start connecting. You just have to stop pretending you're not.